Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Danica. I'm the Senior Social Media Coordinator for California Psychics. And today we're here with Psychic Marin. Now, before we get started, we're going to take a couple of minutes just to let people start trickling in, start asking their questions. But before we go ahead and get started, I just want to point out that we're going to be doing this for the next hour, which means we have a lot of time to get through a lot of questions. So what I want everyone to do right now is go ahead and share this post, send it to a friend. If you're on Facebook, tag a friend in the comments because we have a lot of time that we can get through a lot of questions and your friends aren't going to want to miss this. So go ahead and take a moment to do that right now. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We do this every single Monday, except for the third Monday of the month. And that's when we do our tarot live. It's a lot of fun. We have Psychic Marin on so often, and she is absolutely incredible. Marin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, despite the fires and everything that's surrounding us. I'm keeping my spirits up. I'm doing well. Thank you.
And before we went live, you and I were having a conversation. You were telling me about a conversation you're having with a friend earlier this morning. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I tend to pay attention to themes and different messages in my life, and this week the theme has been more about authenticity and more transparency. I think those are buzzwords that we're going to hear a lot more of. I think especially when we are dealing with so much surrounding us that we have a tendency to really go within, to retreat to our core values, to rediscover our true selves. And right now, I'm just really soaking in the word authenticity. And I had a great conversation with a friend this morning. And here I am coming to you with my hair curled and makeup done. But I honestly, I think I've had hair and makeup done 10 times throughout this whole pandemic. And it's finding our true selves and feeling comfortable being our true selves. And we're seeing a lot of that right now with the media, social media, even amongst celebrities, and people just really embracing their true selves and not being ashamed to reveal that. So just a little thought that's been going through my mind this week. And also, before we get started, I wanted to send a shout out to Curtis and Advisor Services because it's his birthday. So happy birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Curtis. And, right now really is the best time to just be practicing mindfulness. I know a couple weeks ago we had this really awesome blog post. I'll drop it in the comments in a couple minutes. There was journaling prompts to help you get to know yourself more and get to know what direction you want your life to take and, kind of figure out what your life's purpose is and what exactly you want to start manifesting. So I'll drop that down in the comments. Looks like we're getting a lot of questions in.
Oh,
So
good.
just a couple ground rules before we go ahead and get started. If you can go ahead and make your questions as specific as possible. If you are talking about another person, whether you're talking about your kid or your crush or your husband or your wife, just please, if you could mention their names, that'll help Marin kind of connect and just see a better picture. And unfortunately, we aren't able to answer any questions about health or legal issues or pregnancy. So if you do ask those questions, if you're dropping in the comments, I promise you we are not trying to ignore you. We just can't answer those questions. All right, are you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Yeah. Oh, and also about halfway through, we will switch over to tarot card draws, and that way, if you have a question that you don't want to disclose, if you need to be confidential, we can just do a single card draw, and I can interpret that for you later.
Yeah, and speaking of the tarot pools, um, you know, I am all about, things that, because I have anxiety, so I'm all about things that just make me feel a little bit more comfortable. We have this really new feature called, that's our chat feature on our website and in our app, that instead of talking on the phone with the psychic, if you're not really comfortable with that, or if you have roommates and you don't want them to overhear, maybe you're just, somewhere where you don't really want people listening in on your conversation, go ahead and check that out. It's a really nice, discreet way to chat with the psychic and get that clarity that you need without having to be on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Brandy asks, when will I meet the person I'm meant to be with forever?
Okay. I got a real specific time frame of 18 months. I feel like that timeline around meeting at 18 months is not the start of the relationship. Meet in 18 months, closer to about 2 years when the relationship is actually progressing. It's kind of just a short and sweet answer. I hope that was enough for you, Brandy. Don't know the person, have not met the person already.
Kaylin says, hi Marin, will my significant other Zach contact me soon, and are we meant to be?
Okay, give me 1 second, because I sometimes, and if you've read with me before, I've either explained to you or some of my customers know that when I'm getting timing within like a day or 2 days, it's like playing the hot and cold game. And sometimes when I'm reading somebody, it's like, I want to say now, any minute, like tonight. At the latest, I would say by tomorrow, but I'm just getting that it's too hot. It's like the hot potato. It's so close that I anticipate it being tonight or tomorrow. Meant to be, still working out some kinks, but I definitely see this being a soul connection, and I see this growing into a very long-term sustainable relationship.
This one comes over from Mike on YouTube. He says, hi Marin, I'd like to know when Alex will contact again.
Okay, 1, 2, that's 2.5. That one's a little bit more estranged. I'm getting about 2.5, almost 3 weeks. So that one's a little bit drawn out. And there's an intentional tension of distance behind that, almost like it's a game of tag and who's going to reach out first, or somebody expecting that it's your turn to reach out or the ball's in your court. So I'm feeling like there's a little bit of a game being played beneath the surface. But if you don't reach out and you just stay the course, I'm getting about 2.5, 3 weeks is when I get that contact.
Sydney says, hi Marin, I'm thinking about starting an online jewelry business. Do you see it being a financially choice decision?
Okay. You got to stick this one out. You have almost a 2-year curve, and I see that you are doing some sort of contractual, almost, it's not like a licensing, but it's something like that, where I'm seeing that there's a direct company that you're supplying to that's a bigger name, and they're showing that that's about 2 years out when I see this being successful. But I would almost say, more importantly, because I see that ultimately resulting in a successful career for you, and the passion behind it is so obvious, I really want to encourage this and support it. But I don't want you getting disappointed, because I see it being 2 years before you really launch in a big capacity where you feel like this is it, I've made it. So stick with it. Definitely stick with it, and it will be a success.
Heather says, I've just started talking to a Virgo named Byron. How will this end up between us?
Okay, before I even got that the person was a Virgo, it makes sense, because I was getting a little bit more of the kind of dissecting your conversations, having more of a tendency to be that true Virgo of somebody that really likes to compartmentalize and dissect and organized in his thoughts. As long as that doesn't get under your skin, that's the hardest thing that I'm seeing, is you feeling like you're under a microscope and this mistranslation of words. So the communication is going to require a lot of work, but I see this progressing. When I'm looking at the end of the year, you're still together. I would say that it's a relationship that's going to have some communication complications, but it's definitely something that I see working for you, and a lot of growth for you as well, because that intricacy with his communication tends to help you in being a better communicator yourself. So I can support that relationship.
Karen says, I met someone who I had an instant connection with. He recently moved out of state. Will this long distance relationship work, or will it turn into something more?
this is going to have some problems. What you're not seeing is that he's a lot more emotional and more sensitive. And so a lot of his sense of being withdrawn is confusion around how he feels, hurt around what he feels, almost feeling like I've fallen in love. And now it's so complex. So I'm getting his sense of withdrawal and distance. It comes from him feeling defeated and kind of giving up. You're going to lose him if you're not putting in more effort trying to bridge that gap to show that it's possible and to go above and beyond. And I know you've got your hands full. That's going to be hard to do. You've got some real challenges here, but I want you to know that it's going to feel like you're giving 75% and he's giving 25%, at least for another year. There's going to be some true hurdles. Honestly, I feel like this is kind of a 50-50 chance of whether this relationship's going to succeed or not because of the distance. Sorry, Karen.
Taylor says, should I continue to put my husband Ryan's career in front of my own, or is it time I step into my own career path? If not now, when would be best? We have goals. What's the optimal way we'll achieve them?
Okay. So I've got a little bit of a sense of just a personal belief, and then also what I'm getting for you intuitively. I have a hard time verbally saying, put your dreams on hold. That just doesn't resonate with me. But the advice that I'm giving you is I would say that the time is appropriate for you to put your dreams on hold because of what they're showing me. Your time for you to reemerge and for you to, I guess I would say, kind of like a flip-flop, almost like a role reversal. I'm seeing in about 19-20 months is the timeline they're giving me to where I see this now being your turn. So I can tell you it's temporary in putting your dreams on hold because I see that it's going to be this trade-off with you and your partner, and your time is coming in about 20 months where now I'm seeing full speed ahead, focus on you. He's in a stable place, and it's just going to be much better for you emotionally. And I don't know if there was a comment about a child. I just kept getting an image of a very young child, and I kept seeing that image as a part of delay for you or why the time for you is not right now. So 20 months, that's when it's your time to shine.
And just to take a quick little pause real quick, just to tell you guys about some of the stuff that we have coming up. Okay. Next week, we are going to be having our tarot live with Psychic Scarlet. So that's a lot like this, except there's not a video to it, so you don't have to watch anything. You just come in, drop your comment. We sit down with Psychic Scarlet, and she does a one-card tarot pool. Try to get through as many of those questions as she can within the hour. So you'll be able to ask your questions on our Facebook, our Twitter, and our Instagram. So go ahead and check that out next Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central. And if you do have some more questions, you need a little bit more clarity, or maybe you didn't get the chance to have your question answered today, please give us a call, download our app, check out our cool new chat feature. We have this promo code LIVE5 that's going to get $5 added to certain new customer packages. And for our existing customers, Karma Rewards Day is back this Thursday, where you can earn up to 6 times the points. And if you haven't joined our Karma Rewards program yet, you should check it out. I actually looked at, I was reading into birth chart, and I pulled up the birth chart that I got when I signed up for Karma Rewards, and it was just kind of a great way to learn a little bit more about myself. And it's really cool racking up points, getting some bang for your buck. So definitely check that out. And of course, we do these every Monday. So go ahead and click the follow button. Follow us on Facebook. If you're on YouTube and you just kind of go inside, down to the right corner, there's a button to subscribe. It's big and red, so you'll never miss these.
And a lot of clients that I talk to, they tell me, oh, I've got to subscribe. I'm going to do it one of these days. And there's some people I've talked to for months that could have been accumulating points and credits. So it's pretty simple. I know it's another email, but it's worth it.
Crystal just commented that Karma rewards are the best. I couldn't agree more. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. Let's jump back into questions. Chelsea says, hi, Marin, wanting to know if my boyfriend Michael and I will get our apartment soon and if he will propose.
Yeah, a lot sooner than what I think you're even aware of. This is all happening boom, 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 right before the end of the year. So I'm looking, you're right around the last week of October when I see this search, second week of November. So house second week of November, and proposal looks like it's right after that. So I don't want to give away surprises, but it's definitely all on track right before the end of the year, right after another. I'm not, there we go. I was going to say, I lost the audio. There you go.
I accidentally muted myself. We're getting a lot of comments in. We're getting a lot of comments about the Karma Rewards programs. So it's great. I'm reading those. Valerie says, should I get a second job in order to get more of my debt down?
Give me 1 second, because I'm seeing a glitch when you ask that question. So I'm trying to read past that. I can't advise that, because what they're showing me looks like it's, instead of you acquiring a second job and spreading yourself thinner, they're showing me by February of next year, even the existing position that you hold is going to start raising more issues and concerns. And so by February, you're just going to be feeling like, where do I go now? Now I've got 2 commitments and I'm really, I don't know what to do. It's causing more confusion. I would say stay the course, stay on track with the job that you have right now, knowing that by January, February, you're going to start feeling like it's time to leave. And I see one position by late, I think it's late April, early May. You're going to have one job change and it ends up becoming more financially lucrative. So if you're in a financial position where you can just budget and be a little bit more thrifty in your spending and get through the rest of this year, by February, you're going to start feeling like it's time to get another job entirely.
Laura says, what's coming towards me in love for the rest of the year?
Okay. I get an image of a gentleman and I see this person in and out. And that's problematic to me. It shows me like what I almost call more of a broken record. Like it just keeps repeating the same cycle. You already know this person now. It's already been a relationship that's been on and off. I feel like this is going to be the pattern until early summer next year, by June into July. You meet this person and I'm getting this person has something to do with a lake, or that there's a house right on a lake or by a lake, that you are with a friend and you meet this person while you're still somewhat in this other broken record relationship. So I see a big divide coming in June of next year. Sorry, I wish I had better news for you to get you through this year, but by summer next year, it's looking better.
So I think we have a lot of new people in, so I just want to remind everyone that if you are asking your question, if you could try to phrase it as specific as possible. If you are talking about another person, whether that's your friend or your significant other or just someone that you're interested in, if you could use their first name, that will really help.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I scrolled a little too far. Starling asks, will I be engaged in 2021?
2021, yes. Tail end of 2021. That actually looks like it's confusing because you're thinking that it's going to be August or September, and it's a little bit closer towards fall. But yes, next year.
Cindy says, hello, will I buy a house this year or next year?
It is, you're not closing until the early part of February. You're finding the home in December. It looks like it is right towards the end of December with holidays and busyness. It's almost a blessing in disguise that you're just waiting until next year to close and to relocate. So you find the house right at the end of December, but it's a little bit delayed, and I think it's because of the time and appraisals and everything. So by early February, that's the week I see you closing and starting the moving process.
This one is from YouTube. Nav says, when will a man message me? How will it go?
Okay, let me just see, because I feel like there's a certain... Did you said a man, or because I get an image of a specific
the
person?
name is a man. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. A-M-A-N.
Okay. Let me just see him. I'm trying to get a timeline on this, but I feel like I'm already stretched out about, I feel like I'm stretched out about a week when I'm trying to get him. There's a lot of frustration around it, and I'm trying to see past that because it looks like you're going to be patiently waiting, and he's just dragging this on. So when I'm looking at about a week's time from now, they show me like I've gone too far. I feel like it's 5 to 7 days is this magic time frame, and the mindset I get with him right now is like, I'm having fun with the guys and I don't want to be bothered. And it's an intentional distance right now. So I would just sit tight. Otherwise you're going to be disappointed if you're trying to reach out and he's just kind of blowing you off or giving you one-word responses. I don't see that attention till the end of this week.
Salome asks, will me and Maurice be getting back together? Are there true feelings of being in love, or is there someone else?
There are true feelings of love, but there's a lot of feelings of inadequacy coming from him. And the best advice I could give you is to understand that his distance is because of his feelings of inadequacy, or just kind of coming and going, hoping that he's going to keep building himself up and feel worthy. So I do see him in your life. I do get that there are true feelings of love, but I wouldn't confuse his back and forth as like a measuring tool for you, as a way of gauging his love, because you will end up disappointed. I do see that he loves you, and his distance is because he wants to feel like he belongs. I think a lot more praise and compliments and making him feel worthy. Like, you get more with honey than with vinegar. So it's that kind of a situation where a lot more nurturing is going to help him in getting closer to you.
Rachel asks, will I get a new job soon? If so, where and when?
Okay. I immediately got an image of a building, and it looks like it's something affiliated with medicine, but it looks like it's a little bit more holistic medicine, nutrition, something with body and movement is what they're showing me. And it looks like it's more office administration based, but it's fun. It's interesting for you. Pays decent, but I feel like it's the environment and the interest, and you as a result go through just a real personal and physical life transformation in your health. So it's something that I don't think would be your go-to or your niche career, but it's because of what you're drawn to, what interests you, what you're going to learn. I'm not sure if she asked. She did ask for a time. Let me just count back. I think it's by the second week of November. I think it's by the very end of October. You're negotiating. By the second week of November is when you're on the job and you're settled.
Ashley says, Marin, you are the best. Will our move-in date be delayed? We plan to move in this weekend.
It's not delayed, but you're underestimating how much stuff and how long this is going to take. And so you'd be more realistic by setting that October 1st date, and that's your finality, or that's when you've got everything. Like, I just see exhaustion, and that you need that extra time for cleaning and getting everything out. So it's going to be done over a 2-week period. Thank you for the compliment.
Francesca says, thank you so much for doing these. Will I pass my real estate exam, please and thank you?
Oh, gosh, what a fun industry to be going into, because there's a lot of movement with real estate right now, and going to continue to be. So yes, you are passing. You are passing very soon, but the whole month of October is your setup and the marketing of you and unveiling of you. And so I feel like the exam is either passed or passing in the very immediate future, because in October you are off to the races. So I see there is later a younger brunette that is a little bit younger. I don't know if it's a family member or if it's a closer friend, but there is somebody that I see in about 4 years out from now, you're going to be partnering. And so you actually become like the duo in about 4 years from now. Sole business right now. But just keeping that in the back of your mind, because it's something that isn't going to fit well with what you're wanting to do at this point. But in about 4 years, that partnership is just going to be the best thing for your business. Congrats.
Brandy says, hi Marin, do you see Bobby and I making it? He seems like he's pulling away at times.
Yes, but you guys are going to make it. His pulling away, it feels like it's much more having to do with the circumstances and the craziness that we're all enduring day to day. And I feel like the hardest thing for you is going to be that he doesn't really want to talk. He's not a big communicator, especially when it comes to just how he's feeling. And he doesn't know how to put into words what he's currently feeling. So his solution has been, I'm just going to step back. I'm just going to keep to myself. And that is not something to take personal. I would not advise that you're trying to pull him out of that hibernation, because this is how he's coping. So just kindness, nurturing right now. When I'm looking at November, late November into December, I don't see you feeling this way. So I think that it's going to subside pretty soon.
Kim on YouTube says, I have been looking for a new job for quite a long time. When will I finally be successful?
Shoot, I wish I could get just a little bit more about where you were looking. Because I keep getting like this whole other like speaking background and radio background, and this whole other side of you that I don't feel like that's what you're asking about. You're going to have a job change. So just to make it concise, I see you taking a job, which I'd call like a filler job. I'm not getting something that you're really soul connected. It's just, you need a job and it's a filler job. And then late September, October next year, that's when I'm seeing the more career path that emerges. I'd love to talk with you on the phone about this, because I can see you're going down this path, but it's like you're completely neglecting your true self. And so I get ongoing disappointment with career and work, and so much more talent when it comes to this whole other industry that has to do with music and recording and voiceovers and audio and podcasts. And I'm trying to piece this together and see where that is coming from.
Well, Kim, if you want to give Psychic Marin a call, her extension is 5113. And you can see her profile on our website, californiapsychics.com, or check her out if you download our app. And speaking of our app, if you are a new customer, we have a promo code LIVE5 that will get you $5 added to certain new customer packages. For our customers, Karma Rewards Day is back this Thursday. You can earn up to 6 times the points. And I'm not going to go on again about how much I love Karma Rewards. But definitely check it out. It is a great way. You're already getting the psychic reading. You might as well earn some points for it. So make sure you sign up. You get a free birth chart when you do. So if you want to learn more about your astrology, it's super simple. All you need is your place of birth and your time of birth, and it can tell you all sorts of things. And if you have any questions about your birth chart, you can call one of our psychics, and they would love to talk to you about it. And if you're, not super comfortable on the phone, or maybe you're, in a place where you can't really be on the phone, you don't really want people overhearing what you're saying, you want to ask a little bit more personal, confidential questions, check out our super awesome chat feature. It's a great way to get a reading. It's super discreet. You can get your chat transcripts emailed to you after the reading is over. So, if you're talking to Psychic Marin and she tells you that she says something that you want to remember, you can email that transcript to yourself and you can look over it later. You can talk to her about it the next time you call her. It's a great way to just, I know personally, I forget things. And so it's really great for me to be able to go back and have those available after a reading.
And you can be more engaged in the actual reading itself and then have that archived, because I know a lot of people try to take notes and write down notes as we talk by phone. So it's kind of nice to be able to really be focused and connected for the reading itself and then have that to go back to.
It's a great point. So we still have a lot of time. Okay. So just make sure if you're watching, go ahead and hit that share button, tag a friend in the comments, because we still have a lot of time to get through a lot of questions. And in about 15 minutes, we're going to be switching over to the tarot pools. So you just have to, or you can just ask for a card. If you're not comfortable asking a question, you can just say card, please. Or you can ask a question. Just make sure you're still being a little bit specific about your questions. If you're asking about another person, try to use their names. So, and if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and hit that follow button, because you're going to want to come back to this one when we have it again in 2 weeks. We won't be having it next week, because we'll be having our Tarot Live with Psychic Scarlet. And if you're on YouTube, if you go down into the right-hand corner, you can hit that subscribe button. You'll see all of our awesome videos. We have this series that we've been posting on YouTube called DIY Spirituality. And it's, just a lot of really cool little tips and tricks that can help you. And we also have our Psychic Q&A series where people email us questions. So if you ever want to be featured in one of those, definitely check those out. We always post the email at the end of the video, so you can send yours in. And Psychic Marin has answered so many of our Psychic Q&A.
I love those. Send them in. Thank you.
Yeah, they're definitely fun. Okay, Emmy says, will Lucas and I move forward with our relationship? We've been long distance for over a year now and haven't met physically yet.
Wow, I love these stories, and there are a lot of these right now with the pandemic, and people that have met, but for some reason or distance reasons, they just aren't comfortable meeting. And I love these love stories because it just shows you how we connect in so many different ways other than it just being face to face. And I see the two of you connecting. You are going to be face to face right before the end of the year. Actually, they're bumping that up to November. I'm getting towards the middle part of November. I see about a week together, and then I'm getting another you connect again right around New Year's. So it's going to be back to back, and then gosh, you've got a little bit of a hurdle ahead of you in working that out. But I am seeing 2 opportunities where you're face to face right before the end of the year.
Beverly says, I've had so much loss in my life and have been single for over 6+ years. Do you ever see love coming into my life? If so, when? Is it someone I know or someone new?
Someone that you, I was trying to see if the name was Brian or Bright. I think it's Brian. This is something that is so old, maybe 20, 25 years. Like they're taking me way back. Of this person. I think it's going to really get the wheels turning for you to try figuring out who this person is. I even feel like they might be a little bit younger just by a couple years. Let me see. I'm sorry if I'm trying to remember what her question was, when she was going to be in a relationship. Was there a second part of that question?
Is it someone she knows or someone new?
Okay, so it's going to feel like you're meeting this person. It's not somebody that you dated 7, 8, 9 years ago. I'm not seeing anybody that doesn't even make sense when those words came out of my mouth. So they're showing, no, this is way, way back. It's somebody that you know, but I don't see this relationship really starting until early next year. It's slow, very, very slow. And the connection stems from somebody that's visiting, like somebody that's visiting in this area. Boy, this is one of those questions where I'm going down the rabbit hole and I can't take too much time, but they are showing me that it's the early part of next year, and it's somebody that's gonna be familiar enough so you can trust the person, or familiar enough to where you feel like this is, it's fragile. It's somebody that can be loving or sensitive. It suits the needs. And I do see that the new you that you're feeling, minus like the any grief, or minus more the feelings of mourning, what they show me is the sensitive, more softer, more observant and emotional. That is who you're becoming, and that's not a bad thing. It's just you feel your body's becoming more intuitive, more connected. You're finding your spiritual path, and I think there's a lot of fear around that, and maybe fighting that some, but that's what your guides are showing me, and they're wanting you to allow yourself to feel more. And the grief or depths of everything that you're feeling, that's going to keep hitting you until you allow yourself to feel it. So if you want that to come to a conclusion, perhaps letting that guard down a little bit more and giving yourself permission to feel is what they're showing. I know we kind of segued off into a different aspect of your question, but that's what the hurdle is in order for you to have love.
And I know we've talked in the past about manifesting love into your life. Do you have any tips that you can share? So we are getting a lot of questions with people asking if they're going to find love soon, or if they're going to be single forever. So do you have any good tips for manifesting more love?
I think the simplest statement I could make is know yourself, and that's kind of the saying in all magic systems and a lot of faiths and religions. Like, if you don't know yourself, how do you think that you're going to be in a relationship? If you don't know yourself, how can you be clear for your partner? So you've got to really spend some time clearing out cobwebs and learning who you are, and learning what your needs are, what your interests are, not what you think that other person wants. Because so much of our dating and mindset around dating is trying to be this person that we think this person wants, and that's never going to work. So know yourself. If you can just know yourself, which is a loaded question, that's the easiest first hurdle in approaching dating more successfully.
Lori says, any career change for me, and if so, what?
Okay. Your change is going to happen right before the end of the year. It's a whirlwind. I think it could be ideally better timing. It looks like this is something that you're wanting sooner, and yet you're negotiating salary, and they're showing me that you are starting in December. And at that point, you're wishing you would be starting in January and could get through the end of the year. But it's right around the second week of December, and it's going to be hectic. So enjoy the downtime now, because it's going to be you're starting off it 45, 50 hours a week for the first month. So it's overwhelming, but I do see that right before the end of the year.
Maria says, hello, Marin. I want to stay in my current apartment, but I'm having financial uncertainties. Shall I gamble and stay here and hope things will get better? Thanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of unexplored options with payments and financial extensions and being able just to weather the storm and get through this. And what they're showing me is like, you really, this is a good fit for you right now. And I don't see wanting to go through the move and a little bit of a modification of rent or reduction or just trying to extend this. I am getting that they will work with you and to keep asking or ask, because I'm seeing that resolved in two more weeks. So I don't predict a move for you at this time. You're looking at almost 2 years out before I'm getting a move from where you are right now.
Madeline says, will I be pursuing the Air Force successfully or will I remain in a civilian job? Recently found a new potential job.
This is going to be a question that you flip-flop for the next 5 to 7 years. Like what I'm seeing is you're staying the course of the civilian position. I'm not seeing you enlisting or military. And this is something that you're kind of tormenting yourself a little bit. And I feel like there's a lot to gain by being in the military, and the pride that you feel and the integrity and your work ethic. I mean, it would be a good fit, but I am also seeing that you're not as happy, which is what that true intuitive voice is telling me. Like it's more of a I should rather than I want to. And I think you're going to kind of fluctuate for years of, oh, I should have done this. Oh, well, now I'm too old to do it. I should have done it. I wish I would have. I'd rather encourage you to get clear and choose that path now, which I see you taking that civilian position, and get clear and just saying, nope, that's not for me, because this, boy, I wish I would have is going to be a worse feeling and emotion that you carry with you for years.
Marisol says, in the love department, it's been a roller coaster, and I'd like to know if there is someone I could connect and have a romantic relationship with that is not one-sided.
There is somebody that I'm getting. I just want to draw your attention, because I don't even think that you would look twice, because this person is like a store manager, and I'm getting this gentleman that you are meeting that is over like a loudspeaker or intercom, or somebody that's helping you in a grocery store, convenience store, and you overlook this person, yet it's weighing on your mind. They're giving me this timeline. It's sometime in early next month. You've not met this person already. I just want to plant that seed, and you paying attention to that and giving that a little bit more thought, because what they're showing me, and I mean this with love and kindness, I don't want to sound like I'm scrutinizing you, but what I'm seeing is a lot more of like, this is the type of person, or this is what I'm used to, or this is my normal. And what they're showing me is kind of breaking you out of that mold and breaking that normal of the type of person that you typically would be with. He's just a lot more kind, just a gentleman, a little more old fashioned. And I see it being such a good fit. So my advice to you is not being afraid to break free from the typical box of the caliber of person that you date.
So we have about 15 minutes left. So before we switch over to cards, I just want to remind everyone that if you need a little bit more clarity on your question, or maybe we didn't get the chance to answer your question, go ahead and give us a call. You can download our app and check out this awesome new chat feature that I can't seem to stop talking about. Marin would love to chat with you, just to help provide you with that clarity that you need, you can also talk to any of our psychics. We have some pretty incredible psychics on our line. You know, you see them here every single week taking your questions. So definitely check them out. If you are a new customer, we have a promo code LIVE5 that will get you $5 added to certain new customer packages. And for our customers, we have Karma Rewards Day coming back this Thursday, where you get the chance to earn up to 6 times the points. And definitely check out our Karma Rewards feature. I think it's a great way to, you know, earn points. You're already getting the readings, might as well get some points for it. You also get a really cool birth chart that can tell you a lot more about yourself and about your life. So definitely check that out. It's super easy to sign up. Yeah, are you ready?
And I just wanted to say that if you sign up for Karma Rewards, you get email notifications when there are those specials and promotions. And a lot of the readers, we also are notified, and we will make a point to spend more time on the line or be available during those Karma Rewards. So you may see an increase in the number of psychics that are available during those times when we know that there is a promotion.
And next Monday, we're going to be doing our tarot live with Psychic Scarlett. So definitely come in and check that out. It's going to be a lot like this next 15 minutes, except it's not on video. It's just a regular text post. You come in, you drop your question. We sit down with Psychic Scarlett. We're asking her y'all's questions. She does a 1-card tarot pool, getting through as many of the questions as possible. And my team is just working to get those out as quickly as possible so we can help as many people out. So definitely check that out. If you really like this Facebook Live, you know, you want to come back the next time we do them, go ahead and hit the follow button on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We do these almost every single Monday except for the 3rd Monday of the month. So there's always going to be a chance for you to tune in. Plus, if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll get to see all of our other amazing content that we produce. So it's definitely a good thing to do. All right, are you ready to pull some cards?
I'm ready. Yes, I've got my beautiful deck, so I'm ready. And for these, if you don't want to disclose the person's name, or if you don't want to disclose a question, if you have to be ultra confidential and you just want to say, card please, then I can just give you a card and interpret that for you.
Yeah. And if you want your card to be a little bit more specific, but you can't ask a question, you'll see a lot of people will say, can I get a love card, or can I get a money card, or a career card? So that's also just kind of a neat little trick. This one from YouTube comes from Lion Moon Legia. She asks, can I have a card on my future love?
Okay. Page of Cups. Page of Cups is an emotion. The suit of cups has to do with water, which is emotion. And here we've got just this little fish jumping out of the cup, which is a new opportunity, almost like the opportunity's so close that it's just going to come out and bite you and surprise you. So it's an opportunistic card of positive with a lot of emotion behind it. So that's a good card for you. Little surprise in your love life.
We did have somebody on Facebook ask for more information about our YouTube. If you just go in on YouTube and search California Psychics, you'll be able to find us. This one comes from Shanette. She's asking for a love card.
Okay. Trying to see if I get any more specific information, but this is the 5 of Wands. Wands representing the suit of fire, passion. This is a card of tension and fighting. They're battling. So there's an undercurrent of bickering or tension in your love life. It's a slightly problematic card.
But it's such a beautiful card because you're beautiful.
Because of the glitter, little glitter. But yeah, there's some tension there.
This next question comes from Jason. He asks for a money card.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So you have the Ace of Wands. This is also a very fiery passion card, but it's a thumbs up. So it's saying yes, especially if there was a question in your mind surrounding, should I do this? Do I go for it? This would be considered a yes or a thumbs up or opportunities. Anytime we get an ace with the one or the ace in the four suits, that's a card of beginnings or go for it, or it's time to take that leap. So that's a positive for you, Jason.
Angelique asks for a card, please, for Justin and I.
Okay, this is the Empress, and the Empress is a seated woman. Usually she's depicted as a pregnant woman seated on her lounge, and this is a positive, nurturing card, motherhood. So I interpret this loosely, but she's a nurturing mother.
Pedro says, card, please, on career.
Okay, Three of Pentacles, Pedro. So this is a card of community. There is the little architect with the blueprints, and the three together are building community. So you may be in a field of architecture, engineering, construction. Often this card is associated with community and building or hands-on physical work. So that's positive. In how this card pertains specifically to you, what I would say is pay attention to the opportunities where it's a collaborative project or something where you are going to sign on or have multiple people contracting on one project together. Like they're saying that there's an opportunity there for you. It's 3 weeks out, and that's more what that card's associated with. So paying attention to that collaborative project.
Luana asks, will my long-term boyfriend ask me to marry him anytime soon?
That's the Three of Swords, which is one of the more heartbreaking cards of the deck. If it's in a reverse position, it's interpreted as the swords falling out, but this is still in an upright position, meaning I wouldn't expect a proposal anytime soon. This is a tough card.
Amanda asks, will I get a new job or be a stay-at-home mom for a few years? Will I be financially stable? Thanks.
Okay. Everything was great until the last question of will I be financially stable? The card that was drawn for you is the Fool. And it paired perfectly with your first few questions about getting a new job. Because this is showing just kind of an oblivion, like in the way that you're looking at life, so much of an oblivion to where you're almost just going to walk right off of this cliff without even realizing what's happening. So they're showing me that there isn't as much of a plan. And because of that lack of plan, that the interpretation is you're being a fool. So don't be a fool. I'd come up with a little bit more of a plan. And especially if you're a parent, there's something that you can do from home, working as a stay-at-home parent to supplement your income, because this is saying your head's kind of in the clouds. So don't be a fool. Let's come up with a little bit more of a plan.
Bree asks for a love card on a long-distance relationship.
The Page of Wands reversed. Not a very positive card. It's showing this is more from his perspective or what's identifying him. I just see like lack of belief, lack of hope, lack of thinking that this is going to work. He needs a mental flip of that switch in his brain, because the limitations are like, I give up. I can't even be that dreamer and see the potential. I'm just my head's in the sand, and that's the energy around this. So he's going to need a lot more nurturing and support to believe that you can overcome the distance in the relationship.
Carla says, will my husband Ruben and I get back together? We are currently separated, or am I meeting someone new?
I still solely get the energy of your husband around you. He's presenting in the form of the Emperor, which the Emperor is seated on a very square, authoritative throne. And so that's representing the extreme of groundedness and balance. And that often translates to stubbornness, or like, I'm not wrong, or I'm not going to budge. So I do see him around you, but there is clearly this stubborn tension coming from him. And I'm not seeing him wanting to compromise as much, but yet I am still seeing this desire for the relationship. And I feel like this is a relationship that absolutely can be salvaged, like his desire and what he really wants and still sees. He's standing his ground, but there's a tension, and I do still see this relationship working out.
Lorella is just asking for a card, please.
Sure. Oh, we got this one earlier, but it sometimes that happens. This is again the Ace of Wands, which is the big thumbs up for you. So that is a yes, go for it. And the suit of Wands is often with that fiery energy. It's associated with love and lust and sexual energy and passion. Not always sexual, but if it's a career project or an idea, this is the love and what's fueling you and inspiring you behind that project. So it's a yes, thumbs up for you.
Michelle asks for a card on love. She says the person's name is Jax, and a card on financial security.
Okay. This was the card that I drew for love. This is the 8 of Cups, and it's a difficult card. This card's associated with somebody that's leaving for higher ground. They're leaving the past. They're leaving what may even look like a good, positive opportunity with all of these upright cups that are full, but yet he's still turned his back and he's headed for higher ground. So this person's leaving. This person's not wanting to be here. And then the cards surrounding, oh, well, fortunately, in terms of financial security, you got one of the best cards in the entire deck, and that is legacy money. That's the 10 of Pentacles, which is often associated with heritage, lineage, generational money, families passing down, inheritance. This is like above and beyond financial security, often in a form that's not coming just from what you've manifested, but inheritance or gift money. This is you're sitting like a queen. This is very strong in terms of financial security. So not so positive in the love aspect, but very positive and very stable in the financial aspect.
Elena asks for a card, please, for her business.
Okay, strength. So even though this card typically is interpreted as how are you going to work with the beast? Like if you're going to work with a problem in your life, how do you approach it? Do you approach it with kindness? Do you approach it with like yanking the lion's mouth open? Are you gently caressing the problem? For you, the interpretation of this is in how you approach the business and how you approach working with others or employees or customers. Like, what is your relationship to them and how do you work with them, and how does that define the business and how your business is perceived? So a little bit of focus that's being guided on how do you handle and how do you work? Do you force? Do you let it happen? It has to do more in your leadership and your management style. And in your role as a leader, how do you want to be perceived? That's the message in this card.
Looks like we have time for one more.
Okay.
Melanie is asking for a card on stay or go with this bad relationship.
Interesting, because he's staying. So I find it interesting just because in how you phrased it. Do I stay or go? Where he's staying, he's going to be here. And I do feel like it's something where ultimately it would not be a relationship where if I'm looking at you 2-3 years from now that I still see you in this relationship, but I do now, and I see it being a pattern, a relationship with a lot of soul contractual patterns between the two of you. So neither one of you are going anywhere, but it definitely has got some hiccups.
And Melanie, lucky for you, we just posted this really incredible tarot spread that is perfect for this situation. It's all about whether or not you should stay or go in a relationship. So we're going to drop that down in the comments below on Facebook and YouTube, so that way if anyone is interested in checking out the blog, it's a part of our DIY spirituality series. So definitely check it out. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. We had an incredible live reading. We answered so many questions. Thank you so much, Marin.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming today and spending this hour with us. I appreciate it.
And, don't forget, if you have a couple follow-up questions or you didn't get the chance to have your question answered today, give us a call. You can try out our incredible chat feature online or through our app if you're not super comfortable on the phone. It's a great way to just kind of be a little bit more discreet. You can also get that that transcript emailed over to you after the reading is over, so that way you can be more focused and present during the reading, but also that way you don't have to worry about, accidentally missing something. And if you are a new customer, go ahead and use that promo code LIVE5. It's going to get you $5 added to certain new customer packages. And for our customers, don't forget that this Thursday is a Karma Rewards Day. So if you're a Karma Rewards member, which all of y'all should be because it's a free program, you can earn up to 6 times the points. So definitely check that out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Again, Marin, thank you.
Thank you.
So much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.